Okay, this is the first video that we will be having until such time the memorandum will be lifted. So we'll be working on chapter 8, the DHCP. So it will be better for you to follow me on this para kung ano when I'm going to activate the exam at least na may answer. Okay? Sige, so we will start. So basically, ang DHCP, we have different types of DHCP. No? We can put DHCP on the router or we can put it in the server. Unfortunately for us, Cisco is not a systems administration class. That's why we cannot create a server-based platform. No? So what we are going to do is we will let the router becomes the DHCP server and gives out IP addresses to all of our PC. So we are going to run through first the concepts para kasabot kita kung giunsap sa router paghatag og IP addresses ngadto sa mga PC. Okay? So everybody knows what the DHCP is. It's a dynamic host configuration protocol, no? And this dynamic host configuration protocol na sila mga procedure on how your DHCP server gives out IP addresses. So without further ado, there are two types of DHCP that we are going to tackle. One is DHCP version 4 and the other one is DHCP version 6 for the IPv6. Okay, so DHCP version 4 assigns IPv4 addresses and other network configuration information dynamically. So there is a dedicated DHCP server, but unfortunately we don't have like that. No, a Cisco router can be configured to provide DHCP version 4 service as a small network. Pareho gud sa ato ang wireless god, di ba? Ang wireless nato gives out IP addresses man to our cell phones, to our laptops, so on and so forth. So mao sa nay buhaton nato sa ato ang network. Take note, daghan kaayong klase sa what they call this DHCP services, like router atong gigamitan, no? Kung router sa imong gigamit, Microtech has that one, Cisco has that one, pero I don't believe nga mo small lang siya ang gitawag, no? Kay basing on the readings, it's a small network. But it is true to the fact siguro kay sa DCIS sa atong network, I am using Microtech na server, and Microtech is the one giving out IP addresses rather than the DHCP server. Okay, ang server nako diya is not DHCP by nature, but it is a file server. So kung file server siya, all of your files will be saved on that server. Okay, I hope you get the idea. Now, how is the DHCP operate? No, there are 4 steps, no, for a client to obtain a lease. So maging tag-lease ana, so these are the IP addresses that is lent to you. So if it is lent to you, basically it will not be forever, right? No, so mo-expire na siya. Ma-expire na siya on depende sa gihatag nato na specific period of time. Pwede a day, pwede a week, or pwede a month. Okay? So it depends upon the discretion of the administrator. So there are 4 processes to obtain that particular lease. Okay? So makita ninyo diri sa kaninga side, no? First is the DHCP discovers. Okay? This DHCP discover. Client uses layer 2 and layer 3 broadcast address to find the DHCP server. So basically, the client is the one asking for the DHCP. Okay, asking for that service rather than the DHCP is the one automatically gives out IP address, dili pa. So mo discover sa siya una. So upon discovering, the DHCP will offer. So the DHCP version v4 server sending a binding DHCP offer message to the requesting client as unicast. Then afterwards, the DHCP request. So the client sends back the broadcast DHCP request in response to the server it offers. So basically, nag-communicate pa sila, hey, I want to naabay DHCP diya. So if there is, na ay nag-offer. Okay? Because this is not the only server that you have. There are so many. So depende na siya kung unsa nga klase server ang motubag. Makita na ninyo later sa ato ang what we call this packet tracer nga buhaton kung if this router here becomes the DHCP, so it will give out IP address here and here. So therefore there are two networks present here. Okay? Sige. So going back, oops, here. Okay, so until such time, balik until such time after the request, the DHCP server acknowledges it and give a reply to the client using the DHCP act. Okay, that is the acknowledgement. So there are 4 steps to do that. So mao na siya ang kwan until such time the client receives the intended IP address for it. Okay, so get further. So these are the message format nga gigamit, no? Although this is not that very important to you, but being a computer science or an IT, you should know this, no? So unsay sulod, actually this is a UDP protocol, no? Dili siya TCP, kaya TCP we will need handshake to do that, no? Kinanglan kani siya, the other side should be there, no? Kaya kung wala to siya, walay server nga motubag, so therefore it really cannot give out IP addresses, correct? So kung UDP siya, there are 2 types of protocol naman, TCP and UDP. So kung TCP siya, pasabot na whether you are there or not, you can still receive the message. But in this case, UDP, the user data